Top story this afternoon, the South African Cabin Crew Association wants the matter regarding their food allowances to be heard sooner than scheduled. On Wednesday, the Labour Court in Johannesburg granted South African Airways an interim interdict ordering striking cabin crew staff to return to work immediately. The matter was set down for June the 23rd. The cabin crew of South African Airways, however, wants the hearing to be heard earlier. While South African Airways says it is still experiencing flight delays after 50 flights were cancelled due to the strike by cabin crew staff. The association members are demanding an increase in their travel allowances, which they claim have been unchanged for 6 years.
Our legal team is busy working now on, or they are busy working on this issue. What has happened though is there's just been a slight change in that we had invested on going for a review, but at the advice of our attorneys, they thought it would be better to go for a date to be moved closer. Reason being that a review is still going to sit before the same judge, and the chances of success with that might be very minimal. So we had agreed with them. We took their advice. They filed the papers today, and we expect that maybe by next week we should be able to be returning to court, hopefully.
To unpack this further, we're joined in studio by the South African Cabin Crew Association Secretary General, Mpho. Mpho, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. Thank you so much for your time. Well, earlier on, we spoke to the Vice President of the Cabin Crew Association and indeed confirmed that you met with the legal team. Just talk us through as to what transpired with the meeting with your legal team. Did the association indeed go to the Labour Court to interdict, or rather to dispute the SACCA interdict?
A very good afternoon, and thank you very much for inviting us today. It is to confirm that, yes, of course, we have been interdicted. Our strike was a protected strike in the fact that SAA had to go to court and we were interdicted, and we personally feel that we wanted to apply for a review. We met with our legal team, who then requested that and advised that an earlier date will suit us. So that is the direction that we are taking.
Just talk us through the reasons of requesting an earlier date with regards to dealing with this matter. Just list us the reasons for this.
The reason to request for an earlier date, we personally believe that June is too far. The issues that are being experienced by cabin crew members needs to be addressed as soon as possible. And the other fact is that the judge who review, if you take the matter for a review, the same judge is going to review that matter. So it is very important that we have the matter earlier, then we have a different judge for that case.
Well, there seems to be some sort of confusion with regards to what the Cabin Association and the South African Airways management is saying with regards to the strike that the association held, with SAA management saying that the strike was illegal. Meanwhile, the association is saying that the strike was legal. Just talk us through the clarity and the confusion on this matter.
Thank you. There is no confusion at all. South African Airways chooses to be confused. We have followed the CCMA process. We have served the company within 48 hours. It is amazing that SAA will raise a confusion in the last minute while they had the 48 hours. So there is no confusion. It is very clear that the strike was protected and that the certificate was issued by the CCMA.
Talk us through the Cabin Association's plans with regards to dealing with the matter even forward, with regards to if the South African management does not answer to your call.
In dealing with the matter going forward, it is very important to note that we are not getting anywhere with the management of South African Airways. We are demanding to meet the chairperson of the board, to meet the shareholder, so that at least they can be able to hear us. And the other issue is that we can hide behind the court. When people go back to work, they are not happy, and we cannot afford to have cabin crew members who are safety officers to serve passengers and being able to attend to passengers. So our issues need to be attended to as soon as possible. So we are demanding the board under the chair lady to meet with us as soon as possible.
Well, earlier on, when we also spoke to the Vice President of the Cabin Crew Association, he did express that the association is very much willing to sit down with SAA management with regards to finding a solution to this problem. How would you describe the talks between you and SAA management? Are they dealing effectively with this matter or not?
The fact that we have had the strike, they are not dealing with the issue effectively. And I would like to agree with my Vice President that the communications with SAA are not closed, but we are escalating the matter to another level.
Well, sir, thank you so much for your time, and thank you for joining us this afternoon here on Africa News Network. That was the South African Cabin Crew Association Secretary, Mr. Mpho, just unpacking more details on the South African Airways cabin crew strike over travel allowances or meal allowances, reiterating their call to South African Airways management on the speedy resolution to this matter.